Have you ever noticed how the operative word with Jesus seems to be come? Come, follow me. Come, walk with me. Come, be with me. Come. Jesus saw some fishermen, sweaty from hard work, smelling of fish and sea air. Come, Jesus said. Follow me and I will give you a new job. From now on, you'll be fishing for people. Now, I doubt that they had any idea what he was talking about, but they followed, not knowing where they were going and not knowing how the journey would end. Then Jesus was walking along and saw Zacchaeus high up in a sycamore tree. Zacchaeus, the wealthy chief tax collector, who probably cheated people out of their money, someone with whom you would not want to associate. Zacchaeus climbed a tree when he heard Jesus was there because he wanted to see this man he'd been hearing so much about. Then Jesus said, Come down out of that tree, hurry up and go home because I'm staying at your house today and you need to go home and get ready. Staying at the house of Zacchaeus, a sinner. The people couldn't believe it. Astonishing, outrageous. Zacchaeus' life changed on the spot. Jesus also invited women. Come, join my ministry. Women, property of men in that day and time. Women with no voice, women near the bottom of the social order. Come, Jesus said, walk with me, share ministry with me. So many people on the fringes of life, at the edges of society, responded when Jesus said, Come with me on an amazing journey. Let your life be changed. Let yourself be changed. Change the world. Now, it wasn't that Jesus called come only to the people on the margins. In fact, some high-ranking people became intrigued with Jesus and actually tracked him down themselves. Remember Nicodemus, this teacher of Israel, a Pharisee, a high religious leader who came to Jesus under cover of night, trying to figure out what Jesus was all about. Well, Jesus welcomed him too. Then there was the young ruler who came to Jesus asking what he needed to do to have life. So Jesus told him, Go sell all that you have, give the money to those who have less than you, then come, follow me, join me in this exciting, albeit at times, dangerous ministry. The young ruler was extremely wealthy. He turned and walked away. Some people, often those on the margins, are more ready for change than some of the rest of us. Sometimes when we're comfortable with our lives, we want to follow Jesus, as long as it isn't too much trouble and doesn't bring about too much change, at least nothing major. We're pretty okay with things the way they are, not too sure we want God messing up our lives. So we're not immediately drawn to the prospect of jumping into deep, treacherous waters or stepping into the middle of a raging storm, if that's what it means to follow Jesus. Sometimes we do follow Jesus, but along the way we get scared or discouraged, and we lose our focus, and then we lose our way. But even to us, the living Christ continues to say, Come, follow me, just as Jesus called to Peter on a stormy night at sea with the winds raging. According to Matthew's Gospel, Jesus and the disciples had just fed well over 5,000 people with only 2 loaves of bread and 5 fish. Then Jesus told the disciples to get in the boat and head over to the opposite shore, so they went. Meanwhile, Jesus goes hiking up a mountain, trying to get some time for himself, all alone with God to pray, not seeming too concerned about the disciples, who by now are in a real mess with a storm raging while they're trying not to capsize in the middle of the sea. If it isn't bad enough, a ghost appears heading straight toward them, sort of skimming across the top of the water. Now remember, this was a time when there were not amazing special effects that we see in the movie theaters, no realistic computer-generated images. If it looked like a ghost, it must really be a disembodied spirit coming their way. So with the boat tossing to and fro, battered by waves far from the shore, winds raging all around them, They're fighting to stay afloat, and now a ghost is bearing down upon them, heading directly to them, closer and closer. It doesn't get much worse than this.